The Nashville shooting victims were revealed.
And a WSU student could go to prison for life. More on Murrow News 8.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Danny Flynn.
And I'm Jerica DeQuisto. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
Yesterday, a shooter opened fire at Covenant School in Nashville, Tennessee that left 6 dead, officials say. The shooter was fatally shot by the police in the Green Hills neighborhood, police also say. The victims were 6-year-old Cynthia Peak, 9-year-olds Evelyn Dekow, Hallie Scruggs, William Kinney, 60-year-old Catherine Kuntz, and Mike Hill, who was 61. All the adults worked at the school. According to the police chief, they now believe the shooter may have had other targets, including a local mall.
A Washington State student could face life up to prison after being accused of strangling his girlfriend and assaulting her roommates. Riley Gavin was arrested Friday evening after alleged domestic dispute, but was released with no contact order from the victims. However, Gavin could be facing a maximum sentence of life in prison for the first-degree residential burglary charge he is currently under investigation for. We will let you know when more information comes out of the investigation.
Tonight, Pullman City Council will be considering restricting lawn watering to help conserve water. City staffs are proposing the idea to the council to adopt a neighborhood irrigation season under a proposed water conservation code. If this idea is passed, outdoor irrigation would only be allowed from June through September in the city of Pullman.
Idaho's direct care workforce can't sustain the needs of the community, but why? In a report sent out of the Idaho's Office of Performance Evaluation, there's 33,000 people in Idaho who rely on direct care workers. However, there are only 23,000 people doing the job. This staff shortage can be attributed to the low wages created by the state. And according to the report, 75% of the ex-employees said higher pay would have kept them from leaving their jobs.
As you may remember, some Murrow students went on a trip to Nairobi, Kenya over spring break and got the chance to visit a national park. Our M&A reporter Damian Alvarado has more.
The Nairobi National Park has some of the most majestic animals on the planet. 4 Washington State University students were visiting on a journalism trip, but also got a chance to immerse in Kenyan culture.
I mean, this experience was one of a kind.
The park dates back to 1946, and local tour guide Teddy shares that this park has increased to 78,000 acres since 2020. It's fenced off on areas closest to the city and is located 4 miles from Nairobi.
Yeah, Nairobi National Park is one of the most visited parks in Kenya because it's just a few meters from the capital.
It's home to 4 of the Big 5, which includes lions, rhinos, leopards, and buffaloes. As for the elephants, Teddy shared that these large animals were moved to reduce human and wildlife conflict.
Still too small for elephants because the elephants really move a lot and they eat a lot. So that's why we don't have elephants here. So if we had elephants here, they would definitely be moving to the city.
There are over 600 species, and some of those left Alfonso excited.
We got to see lions, zebras, giraffes.
The park is a main tourist attraction, but to people who work there, such as Teddy, it's a passion, a trait the Kenyan culture thrives on.
I love animals, so I enjoy what I do because it's my passion.
With an abundance of wildlife and great hospitality, the Nairobi National Park offers an opportunity to enjoy a piece of Kenya.
And I was definitely gonna come back to this.
Damon Alvarado, Murrow News 8.
Coming up, WSU has a new way to get around campus.
And the weather forecast, so stay tuned. The Port of Whitman County Commissioners is having a special meeting right now to discuss the plan to create an industrial research park. This is the first meeting since AgTech OS pulled their biodiesel plant proposal. The loan to the port from the state of Washington has also been pulled due to the AgTech OS's withdrawal from the project. The meeting in Colfax will explore the rezone process, funding from the State Department of Commerce, and 2 opportunities for the public comments.
WSU researchers have created a quick and affordable way to diagnose one of the most widespread but least discussed sexually transmitted infections using a finger prick method. Trichomonas vaginalis, known as trick, is more common than chlamydia or gonorrhea. It is not frequently tested for since there are no symptoms in 70% of those infected, but can easily be treated once diagnosed. This new finger prick test takes less than 5 minutes and costs around $20.
WSU and Spin have teamed up to install e-bikes and e-scooters on campus. We've sent our reporter Austin Peppers out live to tell us about the bikes and scooters. Austin, what you got for us?
Thank you, guys. I'm standing in front of the Chinook, where this is one of many different places where you can rent an e-bike or an e-scooter. And the process to do it is very easy. All you need to do is just download the Spin app on your phone or mobile device. And from there, it will show you the many different locations and how many are available to rent. And then from there, you just click ride. And then you will scan the QR code on the bike or scooter, whatever you choose. And then from there, you will complete a safety quiz and then pay a $1 fee and then pay 29 cents per minute once you rent it. So that's all there is to it. It's a very quick, easy, and fun process for students here on the WSU campus. So that's going to do it from here. I'm going to rent one of these and ride back to the studio. So reporting from Pullman, Austin Peppers, Murrow, News 8.
Thanks for that, Austin. Pullman will experience some traffic delays at times this week on Grand Avenue, State Route 27 through Pullman. The Washington State Department of Transportation is focusing on crack sealing the highway from U.S. Highway 195 to the Albion Road roundabout. Monday and Thursday will involve one-lane directed traffic by flaggers, with Tuesday and Wednesday not having any effect on traffic conditions. Well, Brinkley, besides construction, will the weather also pose any problems to traffic, or are we in the clear?
Yeah, Danny, luckily you are in the clear. Not only is it not dipping into freezing for the rest of this week and weekend, but also the sunrise getting into spring is getting a little bit earlier in the day, so it might even be light outside on your commute to work. Today it's going to be a high of 52, and the sunset is also going to be a little bit later in the evening, getting some longer days, setting around at 7:12. And tomorrow, the sunset is also going to be around 7:14, lengthening those days continuously. Like I said, we're not dipping into any freezing numbers, so low tomorrow is going to be 38 and a high of 50. And we're going to have some minor winds the next couple of days, but nothing to be too scared of. As we go into the look around the state today, kind of a gloomy day here in Washington. Over in Olympia, we do have a little bit of rain. Luckily, Seattle doesn't have any rain, surprisingly, today. And in the middle of the state, Yakima and the Tri-Cities have some rain, but only clouds in Spokane and Pullman, which will be carrying the clouds, at least, into the 5-day forecast for Pullman. As we look at that, I'm going to step off the screen, and we do have rain and clouds all from Wednesday to Sunday. Luckily, we do have a little bit more temperate temperatures, with Wednesday being 50, Thursday being about 51, Friday the high of 50, and then Saturday and Sunday we do get a little bit colder, and that's when we will dip just slightly into freezing numbers with 30 and 28, but that weather isn't going to be too bad, only a little bit of rain, and the snow on there is only because we're warning you about a little bit of slush. Back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up next, an update on the WSU Pro Day.
And the Mariners are having their home opener this week. More on that after the break.
Well, today is a big day for our pro-bound Cougs. WSU held its annual pro day in the bubble, and multiple scouts were here to watch. 10 WSU seniors and 2 Eastern Washington athletes all took part in today's events. There were over 23 NFL teams and 1 CFL team in attendance. According to some of our MN8 correspondents, they said Deion Henley had the most productive day, and he is projected third-round pick, and his performance today is proving that true. Some other players that are doing well include our Marnie Marsh, Jack Wilson, Derek Langford Jr., and Robert Farrell. And the men's tournament usually includes some blue bloods, upsets, and Cinderella stories, but this year it's been full of many little teams that can. Miami, San Diego State, and Florida Atlantic are all in the Final Four for the first time in school history. The slate is set for this Saturday with both games being aired on CBS. San Diego State will face Florida Atlantic at 3:09 p.m., while Miami will battle against a great defensive UConn at 5:49 p.m. Now moving on to the women's tournament, the top teams are dominating both games. Will be featured on ESPN this Friday, starting with LSU versus Virginia Tech at 4 p.m. And the game of the night and possibly year will be Iowa versus South Carolina at 6 p.m. Opening day for the MLB is on Thursday, baseball fans. The Seattle Mariners are opening their season against the Cleveland Guardians, and the starters have been announced. Representing the Los Bomberos, the starting pitcher for the Mariners will be Luis Castillo. Last season, he boasted an 8-6 record with a 2.99 ERA and 167 strikeouts. Keep an eye out for All-American League Rookie of the Year Julio Rodriguez and All-Star first baseman Ty France this year, as the Mariners have their full focus on winning the World Series.
Up next, find out how old WSU is turning.
We'll see you right after the break.
Now, for those of you wondering, WSU is turning 133 years old today. Now, did you guys hear the clock towers? They're actually playing the fight song like on the way when I was walking to campus today.
That's incredible.
Pretty fun stuff.
I love the spirit here at the Cougs.
Mm-hmm.
I heard there's cake, so I'm going to go grab some after this.
Definitely. Delicious bite.
I didn't even know it was their birthday today, I'm not going to lie.
Oh,
That's the way it goes.
Well, thanks so much for watching. If you missed anything or on any of our previous newscasts, you can always watch us on our YouTube channel.
More news can be found at nwpb.org/mn8, and you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Have a great night, Cougs.